Hi, everyone. It's me, and we're going to be talking about the light of your soul. And I'm super excited to be talking to you about what the light of our soul means. And I want to talk to you about reigniting your birthright. I want to show you how to peel away the layers of mud and gunk and disgusting grossness that is like been put upon you that you are keeping, that's keeping you from shining your brightest truth out into the world. So, I am going to be sharing a really simple meditation that I feel like if you do every single day, it's going to help reignite that light that's inside your soul. And we're going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking about what made us dim that light. I'm going to be sharing a personal story and how, even no matter what age you are, whether you're 5, you're 15, you're 20, you're 80, you're 105, God bless you if you're 105. No matter what age you are, we are allowed to dream and we have the possibility to make things happen. And how we have to stop believing in other people's formulas and belief systems that are keeping us from the light of our own soul. Because I want to show you how to reconnect to your truth. And I just like, this has been so important to me to align to my soul and live my life on my soul. And somebody asked a really incredible question last week about how do you manifest? How do you really manifest? And I feel you really manifest when you're living completely aligned with your soul because there's no guessing, there's no questioning. When you're aligned with your soul and you know what you want and what you don't want to be doing, what you do want to be doing, what you don't want to be doing, the universe knows exactly what to bring to you. And you're not questioning the external experiences because you know with alignment in your soul, the truth inside of you, you're like, no, I need to move that out of the way so that my truth can continue to come in, so I can continue to manifest the things that I desire. People that are not manifesting are living outside their own alignment. And that's why it's confusion and it's chaos. And maybe 5 minutes they're really focusing on their truth and their manifestation, and then things aren't going right for them because this is a habit. You have to build this every single day. You can't just decide on Tuesday, I'm going to align, and then some shit falls into your lap and it sucks and you're like, that's it, I'm done. You can't do that. You have to trust that everything that falls into your lap that's not your ideal experience, because this is life, this is a human experience. What is that teaching you about getting more in alignment with your soul? So that when you're there, the universe knows exactly what to bring you. And not only does the universe know what to bring you, because the universe is bringing it to you, if we're going to get into multidimensional living, but it takes the blinders off. It takes your brackets off your own way of dreaming so that you could just clearly focus on what it is that you desire and not get distracted by all the friggin' noise. This helps you when you're living in your soul and you're living with your truth. And the meditation that I'm going to share with you is how to ignite your soul. It's going to help you to remember who you truly are. And you need to take that dimly lit light and you need to make it brighter. And it's going to help you to stand in the courage of who you are. Because when you stand in the courage of who you are and you get some really good taste, we all have had a taste of what it's like to live in alignment with our soul. But when you're getting day in and day out taste of what it's like to live in alignment with your soul, no one can put that light out again. That light can't be covered with clay or people's muck that they throw on you or the slodginess. And you're going to see yourself just breathing and walking. And the way that I experienced it was like, I'm walking in the forest and I'm really aligned with my soul. And Spirit showed me like almost as if I was encased in stone and pieces of clay and hard clay was just falling off me to the ground because I no longer needed it. I no longer needed to be armored. I no longer needed to protect myself from my own self because I was really happy with the light that was inside of me. So let me just check in with all of you and then we're going to get started. I'm going to tell a story and I just want to hear how you guys are doing and see who's on. Remember, if you're a soul star, make sure that you let me know that you are a soul star. Hi, Jean. Hi, Florentine's a soul star. Hi, Tracy. Hi, Sherry. Hi, Deidre. Hi, Angela. Hi, Lori. So it's great to see you all here with me today. So I want to tell you a story and why this has been so incredibly important to me. Yes, we do have a course that I'm selling, and it's called Soul Finder Academy. And if any of you have been thinking about it, I would say if you're on the fence, go to soulfinderacademy.com and book a conversation with one of my team and see if you're right for it. We're only doing it by application only, and we're not doing hard sells. We have no interest in hard sells. So I want to just tell you a story, and I know that you relate to it, and I'd like you to think about it. First of all, let me ask you this question, because Spirit's talking to me right now. Do you remember a moment when that light was on? Do you remember an age or a moment when your soul light was on? And if so, I'd love for you to share in the comments what that was for you. So for me recently, because I'm going through so much creativity, being in lines with my soul, just this morning I had a conversation, a really important conversation with someone, because I'm getting ready to tell my story about working on a Hollywood murder and this ghost and the spirit and the bond that we created. And it was a really very incredible conversation of creativity and inspiration and partnership. And that's a real alignment with my soul. That's real light. And the more that I step into this, and the more that I stop denying who I truly am to the world, to myself, mainly to myself first, which is to God and to the universe, and this is where you find your purpose, the more these experiences happen. So what I would love for you to know, what I would love to know from you is, do you remember when you were, when that light was on for you? Was it yesterday? Was it 10 weeks from now? Was it 10 years from now? Do you remember that? And do you remember a time when that light went out? So for me, I had an experience this weekend. I shared it in membership and in Soul Finder Academy, where I sent my written material to this person, and I got feedback. And the feedback to me felt like a glaring no. It just felt like a no. And I knew to pause before I sent a response. And instead, I went into action. I contacted some other people. I was like, no, I'm not going to take no's anymore. I'm done with no's. I'm just done with no's. I'm done with stopping my creative process because of somebody's no. And so I contacted some people. I continued to write because I had to hand something in last night. And I sat on it because Spirit told me, pause. This is a big part of being aligned with your soul. And then the next morning I woke up and I was like, oh, that feedback was actually really good. That was my past experience that was making me experience it as a no. It was great feedback. So I wrote the email, and that was the meeting we had this morning, which was totally in alignment. So let me just check in with you, and we're going to talk about how your soul's purpose is really about soul alignment, and how that is so much more important than you worrying about your purpose. So let's see if anybody answered. Deidre says no. Hi, Charlie. Eva says, good afternoon. Okay, so my question to you is, do you remember a time when the light of your soul was on? Do you remember a time? How long ago was that? And do you remember a time when that light went out? So I get, as you know, I'm a medium, and I used to do a lot of readings, and I would get a lot of people coming to me saying, this reader told me my soul's purpose is to be a healer. And then they freeze because they don't know what the fuck that means, right? And it's different for all of us. And I recognize Spirit had said to me, my guides were like, it's not about purpose, it's about alignment. It's about living your truth. And they were right, because if I looked at my purpose over a course of my life, my purpose changes based on my evolution. So my purpose back in college was working behind the scenes in TV, studying that. And I'm going to tell you a story about when I had that clay on me. And then after that, it was like being an actress, because that's what I wanted to be. So I went for that. And then it was studying all this spirituality and all these things that were happening to me. And then I landed in this career, and I was doing readings and space clearings and doing all of that, which was so coming home to my heart. But then that stopped feeling inspiring to me and good. And it became about teaching the masses how to do it for themselves. So my purpose all along has changed. But my alignment has always been to teach people through story, to motivate people through my own stories, to show people how to do it for themselves so they're not dependent on other people, and to teach people how God, I believe in God. It doesn't matter what you believe in. I don't care. I believe that God put these dreams in my heart for a reason, not for me to suffer, not for me to be depressed because they weren't happening, because to explore them, to live them, to be an adventure with them. And that's my alignment, and that's my purpose. So for me to always be living my truth, which is really experiencing all of life the way that I feel life needs to experience. Some people need to go up and climb Mount Everest. That's not my experience. My experience may be just walking in the forest with my dogs in a quiet afternoon. And that's such a full experience, and that's enough. That's what our life is about. And then purpose gets born out of that. So, so tell me, so I would love to know when your light went out, when your light went out, and if you remember it. So I want to tell you a story as I'm doing this. Sherry said, yes, it was when my grandma lived with me and my son. This was about 12 years ago. Seems like it went out when she passed away. So that's a very true experience for a lot of people when you experience a passing of someone and you feel like your light goes out. And Sherry, what I would invite you to do is, what was it that your grandmother saw in you that you're not seeing in yourself? Because there's some experience in that relationship where you truly felt seen. And that's what alignment with your soul is. It's about truly being seen. And then when she went away, you feel like you're not being seen. And the most important person, you know who the most important person is that needs to see us, right? It's us. If we don't see ourselves, nobody else is going to see us. So let me know also, I'd love to hear when your soul was on, when your light was on. Somebody said, Lori said she feels in alignment when she does a reading. That's beautiful, Lori. I did too. When I was doing readings, the first time I was doing them, and I was teaching also, I taught before I was doing readings actually, because it just felt natural. I felt completely in alignment. So that makes perfect sense to me. Tracy says, 12 years ago when I started to write my children's book, the light faded with countless rejections, but never went out. Tracy, I got to share this. This is so important, because I've had this experience so many times with projects that I've started and created with my writing. And somebody would give me a no, and I would like walk away from it. And I chose this year to never allow that to happen again. So I was in my writing class last night, and somebody was sharing a story. It was a little story about a little mouse that it was a paragraph long, like 2 paragraphs, and it affected all of us. And she said, I saw this happen to this little mouse, and it just haunted me. And my teacher said, if it haunts you, that's the muse showing up. You have to write it. So Tracy, go out and write it. So I do have something, hi Julie, to share with all of you, but I want to explain it first, okay? And then we're going to do a meditation on how to get that light opened again, and I still want to share a story. But I don't know how many of you have done the souls list. The souls list is the most important thing you can be doing. So if you type in soul in the comments, you are going to get this souls list. Now, let me share something with this. There is a email system. It's going to go into ManyChat, right? So you're going to get invited to find out about Soul Finder Academy. If you're not interested, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Just let us know. We don't pester people. We have no interest in pestering people. So you can type in soul, get that gift. And then if you're going to get information about Soul Finder Academy, just say not interested. Cool. But I just want you to be aware that, because some people, like, they get my gifts and then they get an offer for something and then they get insulted. And I'm like, well, don't get insulted. Just don't buy it. Like, I don't give a fuck. Do whatever you want to do. But I want to be able to give you a gift as well. So just know that that's going to happen. So if you type in soul, you will get, and I redid this for those of you in membership, guys. We'll put this in the membership site, membership for your soul site, because I see Barbara on here. I see a few people from membership. Soul Finder Academy has it. They're going to go through a whole month of this souls list thing, because it is life-changing. It has changed my life exponentially. It is the gift that Spirit gave me that woke me up, that reignited my light, that reminded me of why the fuck I was here and who the hell I am. And it made me passionate about living again, because I had no passion. I was just going through the motions. So this is an incredible gift. For those of you in membership, Andrea, I see a bunch of you on here. It's a different, I redid the exercise, so you may have not seen this one. You guys have it in Day in the Life. You have it in membership as well, in the day in the life pretty much, and stuff like that. But I just wanted to share that with you. Okay, so let me tell a quick story, and then we're going to go into the meditation. And I definitely want to check in with you guys and see if you're relating to it, and if this is helping you at all too, because it's my it's helping. It's a really important to me to help you. So here's Margot. When I had my interior and exterior design business, I had to go to contract and still at issues. Soul, please. So I would type soul separately, and I think that you're answering when your light went out. We really have to pay attention to when our lights went out. So when I was in college, before I went to college, I didn't think I was creative at all. And I didn't want to go to college, and my mother filled out my applications. I just wanted to stay home, be a secretary, get married. That's all I wanted to do. Nothing wrong with that, right? But my mother was a big believer in college education, and she wanted all of us to graduate no matter what. It was her thing. So she filled out my applications, and I went to school, and I didn't know what to study. So I decided to become an accountant, study accounting, because I liked math. What the fuck, accountant? Like, look at me. Nothing wrong with accountants, because accountants are great, and I need them. So I went to school, and I was taking accounting, and I'll never forget asking to go to the bathroom during the final and going into the bathroom and just looking at myself in the mirror and just like sweat pouring off of me. And I was like, what the fuck am I doing? I know I'm cursing a lot today. I was like, what am I doing? This is not who I am. But I was told I wasn't creative by my mother. And my mother was someone who wrote and played the piano and sang and painted. She was the most creative person, but she didn't believe she was creative. So therefore, she didn't believe I was creative. So I believed I wasn't creative. So I went into accounting. And it was that moment, I went back in and took the test, and I got a D. And I never got Ds. I wasn't a great student, but I never got Ds. And I was like, I got to get out of here. My brother sat me down, one of my brothers. He's like, you need to study communications, television communications. I went into telecommunications and started finding my path, and found my path. And I realized that I was creative. And what I want to tell all of you, no matter if you're in accounting, I don't care what you do, our souls are creative. We are creative beings. We were created, so we're creative beings. So it's really important that you find what your creativity is to you. So we're going to go through a fun little exercise where I am going to show you how to reignite the light in your soul. And so many times, don't do this. People think it's so difficult. It's so much work. I think years ago, that was the vibration we were in this universe. I do think things were really felt that way. We didn't have the consciousness. We didn't have the awareness. We didn't have the tools. So we were kind of in this pattern of go back to the trauma, study the trauma, analyze it, and then heal. And it was like, I don't know about you, but I was in therapy for like 17 years. It was a really long friggin' process. But it doesn't have to be that way anymore. We have so much awareness, so much consciousness, so much help from the other side, from all the dimensions. And we also just have so much help from our own inner light, from ourselves. Like our light is reignited, whether we're paying attention to it or not, or whether it feels dim to us. This light is like, let me out. So it's easier. So this is an easy meditation that you can do every single day. And let me tell you something. So Soul Finder Academy is this program that I created because I've been studying the soul for over 25 years. And Spirit has taught me a lot about the soul and how to live from the soul. And do I fall out of it at times? Guys, I'm human, right? But I get back quicker than ever before. But the point is that they're bite-sized pieces. It's a 4-month class. It's a 16-week class. And nobody does this work anymore by sitting down for an hour and studying. It's habit changing. It's belief shifting. So these lessons that I do are like 1 to 5 minutes long, depending on the day. And then you just carry it throughout your day. Because nothing's going to change in your life if you read and study something, but you don't implement it. There is no way it's going to change. So this process is something that you can come back to this recording. We're going to be about 20 minutes in, and you can do this over and over again, and it's going to be easy. So how many of you are ready? Give me the likes and the loves if you're ready for the meditation. How many of you are ready to ignite your soul and your light again? How many of you want to ignite your soul and your light again. So for those of you who are soul typing soul, that's great. You're going to get the souls list. Just be aware that we may tell you about our class. Don't get insulted, guys. It's what I do for a living. So some people get insulted and I'm like, well, you know what? You shouldn't follow me then. But I like to be honest. I'm very upfront. Okay. Lori, thanks for my potty mouth. I know. Sometimes I just have potty mouth. All right. Ready? All right. So just let's all, and we're in a soul grouping right now, which is so beautiful. I can feel the energy. It feels so good. So I want you to it's really important to close your eyes. And if you are somebody who doesn't like closing your eyes, you are more than welcome to look at a wall, look at a tree, look at your hand. It doesn't matter. We don't have to be in deep, deep meditation for this work to happen anymore. It's simultaneously happening. They are around us all the time. They are reflecting our light. That's what they do. That's what our guides do. They reflect our light. So just close your eyes if that feels good to you. That's the way I'm going to go with this meditation. And just breathe into the part of you that you think this light is at. So breathe into the part inside of you. It could be the bottom of your feet. It could be in your second chakra, your first chakra. It could be in your heart. It could be in the center of your head. I don't care where it is. But I just want you to breathe into it. And I want you, part of what this is about getting intimate with that light again. It's making friends with it again because you ran from it. It's so powerful. It reminds you of your power. Our power scares us, so we run away from it. So just take a few moments now to find that light. And just breathe into it. Now, if it's not an obscure place, put your left hand where that light is. And the left hand is about receiving. It could be thought of as feminine energy. And it's mainly about receiving from spirit, receiving from your guides, receiving from the universe. And as you put your left hand on the light, I want you to allow that vibration, that energy that's bigger than us, that infinite intelligence. My work now, I'm like putting my certain stronger vibrations into it. So as I'm speaking to you, there's a stronger vibration that's even assisting you to help you, just in case you're struggling. So I want you to breathe into that assistance and breathe into that light. And I want you to feel that assistance. It's infinite intelligence. It knows more than your brain can even wrap your head around it, like more than your brain thinks you know. And I'd like you to put your right hand over your heart. And the right hand's about doing. So we want to marry the actions of igniting the light into inspired action. How do we ignite the light and then take inspired action? Now I want you to breathe into that light and make it brighter. And for those of you who struggle with visualizations, I want you to acknowledge and to know, that's claircognizance, just know that light's getting brighter. So breathe into the light and make it brighter and bigger. And you have the power to do that. And remember, you're having assistance from my guides as well, who are communicating with your guides to make this happen. Notice how your body feels in this experience. Now I want you to see a dream in that light, a dream that you want to come true. It could be the house that you desire. It could be getting a horse. It could be abundance. We are all those things. We think we're not because we turn the light off to them. But we are all the things that we desire. They may not show up exactly how we feel and think they should, but they will show up in vibration. So see the dream in that light. Notice if it's small. And I want you to watch that dream just get bigger and to feel the light. It doesn't have to take an actual physical shape that you can understand. It may take a funny shape, but let that dream fill that light and fill your entire body. And some of you may be experiencing the light outside your body. There are no right or wrongs whenever you work with me, because your own inner guidance system knows exactly what to do. Now, I want you to exhale that dream out into the world. You don't need to know how it's going to happen. You don't need to figure it out. All you need to do is to give it up, give it out to spirit. So exhale that dream out into the world. And as you inhale, I'd like you to invite inspiration in, inspired action in, that will bring you closer to your dream. And you may not know the exact steps right now. You don't need to. You're just inviting it in. And maybe a thought that pops into your brain later on. Maybe a dream that you have tonight and wake up in the morning with an action that you want to take or a feeling that you want to follow. So you're exhaling the dream out into the world, and you're inhaling inspired action that will bring you closer to your dream. Notice how that feels. And hold on to that feeling. As a matter of fact, describe that feeling to yourself to make it more tangible. Now bring your awareness back into your body. And the way to do that is you can say your name to yourself 3 times. You can feel your feet on the floor. You could remind yourself what you're wearing. You can remind yourself of colors of your surroundings. And join me back on this live. And let me know how that was for you. How was that for you? Let me know what your experience was. Let me dig in with you right now and try to help you. So for me, doing those simple actions right away aligns me to my truth. Everything else falls away. When I was 9 years old, I don't know how I knew to do this. I had my face shoved into a cushion in the couch. And I did this self-meditation where I let everything go away. So I physically, mentally, spiritually took away my house, took away the animals, took away my parents, took away the yard, took away the trees. I took everything away that I understood as a physical experience. And I had this experience of becoming one with universal intelligence, infinite intelligence. And it was the most peaceful experience in my life. And I did that twice as a little kid. And I'll never forget that experience, what it felt to me. And it was so magical and so mind-blowing that I was like, wow, it was really cool. And what that did for me is it got me back in touch with my real roots, who I really am, without any physical distraction. And I was growing up in a very traumatic childhood, like a lot of you have had that experience as well. So that's a quick reminder. It's something easy to do, right? So I want to go to your experiences and I want to help you to get past anything that is a roadblock. But I want to remind you, like, this is here. It's 20 minutes into the video. That's an easy thing you can do. And I want to encourage you to make it your own. It's really super important. You can do my meditations like 1, 2, 3 times, maybe just to get, comfortable with it. Then if all of a sudden you see a flower or something happens or spirit says, do this while you're walking, do it. Don't, you let your own system come out. So these are the experiences we have. Anita says, calming and self-realization. Andrea, hello, Andrea, Soul Star. I felt very secure, safe, and supported. My light was overwhelmingly bright. I love this, Andrea, because overwhelmingly bright is beautiful, right? It's amazing. Oh my goodness, my light was overwhelmingly bright. But I've had people come to me and say, I met a guide and it scared the heck out of me, and I'll work with them, right? And we'll find out. And I figure pretty much, I'm like, all right, is this a guide that's really not your guide? Because I teach people how to ask that question. And then we find out, which is usually the case, their love is so empowering, so overwhelming that you don't know how to receive it. Overwhelming, empowering, we experience as fear. So I love that you said overwhelmingly bright. And for you, Andrea, I want you really, because I know what's going on with you with soul, with membership for your soul, I want you really leaning into that light. And I want you recognizing like what that means. This is a great question. Thank you for this, Joanne. She said, what if you're feeling like it's difficult or forced? I'm trying, but not feeling much. I would say, if it's okay with you, Joanne, to go with the forced feelings, because the forced feelings for me usually are the right ones, but we're programmed to believe that they aren't, that it's something we want, and we were told we can't have it. So you want to kind of, even if you're like forcing it, or when I tell people, I teach them where their guide is, and I don't wait for the guide to show up and tell them. I say your guide is like, say they say their guide is right in front of them, and I make them focus on that place. So it's kind of the same thing. And then all of a sudden they have this experience with their guide where they're all of a sudden in relationship with their guide because they got out of their head and their thinking, and they just did a point of view. They just manipulated it. They said, that's it, I'm going to do it. So I think forced is a good thing because it's going to train you into something different. It's going to help you to believe something. And a lot of times with the work that I do, the magic happens after. So it happens in those moments you're not expecting it, when you're washing the dishes and you're having a light bulb moment and those things that just fall in. So it's a really good question, sweetie, and thank you so much for asking it. Michelle says, I didn't feel anything. I find it hard to visualize, but I can feel my left hand really hot. Great. I love, love, love when people are honest about their experiences. I don't want to call them struggles, because we're all different people and they're not struggles. They're our experiences. And when we make them wrong compared to other people, or, oh my goodness, I didn't do it right. You did it perfect, Michelle. Spirit took you to your hand and it got really hot. There's a lot to be said about that. So what I would have you do then is do the meditation again and see the light in your hand. See the light in your hand. I'd even touch it. I would put the light, and making sure you guys can see me. Let me hide this comment. Let me turn this, go bring this down a little. I would put the light in my hand. I would start touching it and feeling it. Now, I'm really good at visualizing, but for those of you who can't, you can even take a white cotton ball. You could take something that's white, and you could just touch it and see the light in it and just feel it. And this, I can't remember his name. Oh my goodness. We had a crystal guy on. He was so good on membership. And he talked about clearing, and I'm not going to do this justice, but he would send breath to clear the crystals. That's not the only thing. He had a whole process. So I would breathe on it and breathe it in, and exhale it and breathe it in. So I want to take more, but I want to share this really important message. So if you want to type in soul, you'll get the souls list, and you'll also get some information about my new class, Soul Finder Academy. And then for those of you who are interested in Soul Finder Academy, it's by application only. Only membership people can join right out of the gate because I know them. So you fill out an application and you book a call with my team. Nobody's hard selling. We're not interested in it. If anybody hard sells, email us at info@marilynalori.com, because we're not doing that. We just want to get to know you and see if you're a fit for it. And then if you're on the fence, I would say book the call and find out. Okay. It's really a great, great class. It's bite-sized pieces. It's habits forming. It's the thing that's going to catapult you into this experience that I'm having, which is full on creativity, inspiration, feeling aligned, and knowing when I'm not aligned. That's the most important thing too, right? Having those moments of not aligned and not falling into the rabbit hole and being like, whoa, that wasn't good. So my new program, it's called Soul Finder Academy. It's 4 months of easy daily practices combined with deep support and soul mentoring to allow you to truly come into yourself. It's super important to me. And I'm still going to take questions, guys. So no more allowing anyone outside of you or anything outside dictate your circumstances of your life. It's about really getting clear. because your soul has a future plan for you that you can't even imagine. And you have to release the grips around your old beliefs, your old programming, your limitations, your cultural conditioning. Growing up as an Italian girl with 3 brothers, oh my goodness, talk about cultural conditioning that have just they can keep you stuck in your life, and you want to let go of all of that. And there's a lot of people who are actually like, they're kind of fond of suffering, and it gives them some type of identity. But it's not a choice. Like, I would say, get out of that choice and make a different choice. And Soul Finder Academy is about choosing differently. It's about saying, you know what, I need to break free from all of this. I need to break free from the limitations of my mind, connecting, and I want to connect to the infinite possibilities that are in my soul and connection. So if you're interested in joining this program, go to soulfinderacademy.com or type in soul, let us know you're interested, and you can apply and get on a call with someone and see if you're the right fit. And it's a really powerful class. I'm going to tell you again, it's bite-sized pieces. It's almost like 112 lessons. Don't let that overwhelm you. People, actually, somebody joined and they were like, I thought it was, and I'm like, yeah, you people were telling me you didn't want hour-long lessons. Wait, you're building on this. And now they're having like just day 2, I'm reading the Facebook page and some of the experiences that people are already having. And I'm like, yeah. So let us know. And I really feel like you're going to have more of a fully expressed life, which is really great. All right. So let me go to, so it's Soul Finder Academy, or you can put in the word soul and you'll get the souls list and then get information. Okay. Great. We got there. So let's keep going to you guys. See what's happening. Barbara. I think I may have landed back where my light dims long ago. So I think Barbara's a soul star. Barbara, I think what you're saying, sweetie, here is that, and I'm not just picking soul star. She was the first one there. I don't do that kind of stuff on my public page. I think what you're saying here is that you're doing that again. So in that moment, if I'm getting this right, and let me know, in those moments where we dim our light again because something happens that trips us up, or somebody says something to us, and this is the thing that I love about Soul Finder Academy, because it makes you conscious of those triggers so we don't turn the light off anymore. Instead, you learn what that trigger is doing and something that you have to heal or something that you have to bring awareness to so that you can shine even brighter, right? Because we are complete, like we have so much going on. We're complete. We have so multifaceted things in us. So I think what happened is something probably triggered you, and it might have been you stepping out, doing something that you really wanted to do. And then maybe there was an experience, some negativity or some criticism, or you weren't really sure how the person experienced you, and then you dimmed it a bit. So let me know, Barbara, if that makes sense. That was your second comment. Okay, great. Let me go back and see what your first comment was. But I'm glad I was able to go on that road because I'm sure people relate to that. Okay, hold on. Oh, my computer. All right. Hi, Annette. Oh, I'm definitely going to answer that one, sweetie, Joanne. So give me a second with that. I want to answer that. I think I may have done that. Okay, Joanne, I don't know. Barbara, you're going to have to put in the comment because I think I lost. Oh, here it is. I suddenly flashed on a man that I had a very deep connection with. He's another one that's not here on Earth. Barbara, write in again so I can understand what you're trying to say, sweetie, and put it in one paragraph so I can understand it, honey, okay? So I love this question. What do you do or deal with being told you're being blocked by a negative field or a cloud? I personally don't believe in those things, Joanne. My belief system is, and this is my belief system, that if there's a negative cloud or there's something that's happening, it's a projection of my innermost life. Somebody was writing, doesn't matter. So I had many experiences where things just kept going wrong. My mother, I shared this last week on Facebook Live. My mother was like, and my mother loved, my mother has Alzheimer's now. It's very difficult, but she just loved me so much. And I got to a point where I called her where all these things, she's like, Marilyn, I just can't handle anymore. I can't handle it. I was creating so much of this experience because I was so focused on what wasn't working in my life instead of what was working. And again, guys, I'm going to say you can't focus on what's working in your life. Do a gratitude list for a week. And then if things don't change, go back to the old experience or something bad comes down the pipe. You've had years and years and years of creating an outside experience based on the trauma you may have lived through, or your belief system that doesn't hold a positive light. So my feeling about that kind of stuff is the negativity is usually self-imposed, because I believe in free will and I believe we have the power. So even when spirits would come in, and not everybody holds my belief system, even when spirits would come in that were not welcome, I knew that I could tell them to leave. Now, in the beginning, I was cursing like crazy, telling them to get the F out of my house. But now I'm just like, gone, cut cords, stuff like that. So that's what I feel. You know, I feel like if there's any negativity that's following you, find where the negativity is living inside of you, and let's try to rechange that. All right. What else? Let me just see if Barbara wrote back, and if not, I don't. Ooh, Tracy said he agrees. All right. So Barbara, I'm not sure, honey, what you were saying, but hopefully I think I'm going to land it back. Okay, so you landed back where the light dimmed long ago with a connection you had with a spirit, I think. So what I would just say is, I don't know how to answer that unless you do it. So maybe you want to put that in membership and I can help you further with that, okay? And that would help. Tracy says, could you please explain why some people, and I want to go down. Hi, Christiana. Could you please explain why some people like me felt emotional? Definitely, Tracy. Definitely, because you got to sit with your truth. When you get to sit with your truth, you may find yourself crying. I was being read by Hans King, who's no longer with us, but a beautiful, beautiful soul, years and years ago, like, I don't know, 15, 16 years ago, and I was crying in the reading. And he said to me, it came from him, he said, we don't get to sit with our truth very often, but when we get to sit with our truth, we cry. And I noticed that over and over again. I will sometimes be in meditation with my guides, talking with them, and I am just in tears because it's so truthful and so beautiful. So I think that that's a really good experience. So those of you who are just joining, we are talking about igniting the light in your soul again. If you type in soul, you're going to get my souls list. You're also going to find out about my Soul Finder Academy. And if those of you are interested in joining, definitely check that out and fill out an application, or we will contact you in ManyChat. If you're not interested, it's totally fine. Just let us know. All right, let me go back to some. Mary said, yes, my heart hurt. I'm so, thank you guys for being so honest with your experience. And what I would say to you is, when I was studying with a lot of different mediums and studying mediumship and really opening up to where I was meant to be, my heart hurt so much. And I remember sitting down with my guides going, why? My heart feels like it's breaking. And they said, it's cracking open. This goes to show how programming makes us think it's something else, right? So my heart aching felt like a heartache, like a love heartache. And Spirit said, no, it's cracking open. That's what's happening. So just know that that is what's going on, Mary, that your heart is cracking open. All right. I want to go down to further ones. Michelle says, oh, okay, Barbie, you did fill it out. I'll get to it then. I feel blocked. That's why I'm doing this course. But let me explain what you can do with that. So that's why the Soul Finder Academy, you're blocked because you're probably believing something that is not your truth. It's not your truth. So you're feeling blocked. So we only feel blocked when we have these experiences in our life that we're living by somebody else's truth and not our own. And because it's not our truth, we're like doing this push-pull, hitting a wall. And we can't even imagine what our truth is because we bought into somebody else's projection of our truth, or we bought into a bad past experience when we went after our dream before and it didn't work out. And we're still reliving the past experience, not what's in our present moment and where we want to go. Remember, I share this all the time. I was pancaked out on the floor crying, and my guide said to me, stop making decisions from where you came from. Make choices from where you want to go. In other words, they wanted me to stop focusing on my past experiences, which were triggering my present experiences. And they wanted me to keep my eyes on where I wanted to go and make choices from that vibrant energy of where I wanted to go. All right. Barbara. All right. I'm still, when we got to the past, write it in membership, honey. I'll be able to help you better in membership because I'm a little bit lost. So sorry, honey. Sorry. All right, let me go back down to other people's experience. Lilia said she felt a pain under her right rib. Now, I'm not a doctor, so if there's something physical going on, I can't speak to that. I will speak to the energetic and that. I, again, feel like that's a heartache. That's what's happening. So I would say that that's probably what's happening. There's a physical experience. Now, here's the other thing too, guys. Our bodies store trauma. Our bodies store, Georgia, hello. Our bodies, I see that you're on there. Our bodies experience store trauma in our lives, right? So we have a muscle memory, so that's why we get physically ill or we struggle with certain physical ailments. So when we start like shining our light of our truth and igniting that, there's a little bit of friction between our physical experience that wants to hold on to the memory of the past and our light that's like, no, we want to diffuse that and we want you to focus on the light. So the body may be trying to make you remember the physical experience of the past. It may be trying to pull you down. So you want to notice that. And what I would do when that happens, if the pain in the heart, the pain in the light, remember guys, you can all visualize a light in your hands, a beautiful white light in your hands. We all have healing ability. And you could put that light of your own hands over that spot and breathe into it. The way that I do healing is I see the light coming from up above and I see it go down my chakras through my right hand has most of my healing energy, left has a little. And I'll put the light over wherever that experience is and see the light coming out into my body. All right, let's see. Julie, light yellow light, that starboard south to grass green and sky blue. I saw myself in a crowd of women feeling very supported, celebrated, and I felt accomplished. Beautiful. Breathing in, I saw solid ruby and sapphire colors that had lots of glitter in it. I could feel the texture of the glitter in those solid colors. Absolutely beautiful, Julie. So she had such a visceral experience and such a something full with feeling. And for those of you just joining me, I did a meditation 20 minutes in that you may want to go back to and experience. And also you can type in the word soul, S-O-U-L, and get my souls list, which is really, really incredible thing. So Julie, that's what, so say we don't have we don't know where we're going, how we're going. We know we want to get somewhere. We know that visual, that energetic, emotional experience of it was really great. You want to hold on to that emotion. That's what you want. And you want to, when you wake up in the morning, remember that emotion and go through your day with that. And then when something dampens it, pull into that emotion because that's the light. So it's really good. Okay. Eunice. Hi, Eunice. Another soul star. Very powerful. Felt like I was underwater, slowly being pulled into space, seeing in the night sky, seeing a sun being born so bright. As I saw my dream unfold, I saw a home. Children was all in a light form, allowing me to understand that I can manage and manifest to be in a continuous flow. Yes, yes, yes. Remember I said manifestation. And I didn't get this, and it was Camille, and thank you, Camille, from membership for asking this question last week. Why is manifestation so hard? Manifestation is so hard when you're not living in alignment with your soul. Those people that are saying they're manifesting like crazy, and I'm not saying they aren't, because I watched some of those videos and I'm like, wow, what is she? It was a while ago. I'd be like, what has she got? And now I understand they're in alignment. So of course they're manifesting. Of course they are. Michelle's heart chakra was open. I worked with Michelle. Open plan, beach house with a room for my coaching, sense of calmness, very vivid and bright. Now, Tina, I love this. I don't know if Tina's still on, but this is for anybody who's still on. We did a simple meditation in less than 10 minutes. And she got to a place of calmness, aligning with your soul. For me, alignment with my soul. And you can all, I would love for you to right now to write in what you think alignment with your soul is going to make you feel. What do you think being aligned with your soul is going to make you feel? For me, it's inner peace. No question. It is inner peace. I have a propensity for fear. I am fear-based. I grew up in a lot of fear. My mother was very fearful. So the thing is that I recognize when the fear shows up. And then I have these tools and techniques to help squash that fear or help diffuse it, I would say, because I don't want to squash it because that means it feels to me like it just gets buried and it's still there. So it's diffusing it, it's healing it, it's shedding light to it, it's shedding understanding, and it's releasing fear. So what would you want to feel? Okay, answered that one. Oh, thanks, Lori. Lori said, that was awesome. I got chills before I even started. Cathartic. It was emotional. Great. I love it. I'm so glad that that really worked for you. I sobbed, but then great relief. Aw, Kim, thank you for sharing that. All right. So let's see some of the feelings. There we have them. Peace. I felt absolute joy when I'm in that space. At peace, sure and secure. Oh, Tina, I'm so glad you're still on. My body's relaxing and tight muscles releasing. My lower back was in so much pain. Now it feels relaxed. My shoulders also. So you just heard me say, Anita, how our physical body holds on to emotions. I went through so much trauma as a kid that at the age of 26, I had to have 3 surgeries because I had such severe endometriosis. My ovaries, my creativity in there couldn't handle it, right? Now, I'm still struggling with some certain physical ailments as I'm releasing a lot of stuff. And I also feel that my spirit guides are getting me ready for something much bigger and greater. So my body's getting ready with it. So this, Christiana, like this, okay? And I hope I'm saying your name right. And I believe you, I'm not gonna say anything. So it's almost like our ego physical is our worst enemy fighting against us this whole journey. So what we want to do is not, I love this, that she says this awareness, because that's the way it feels sometimes. But one of the things I helped myself do in my 20s was to stop fighting my ego. Because fighting our ego then just puts us in opposition our whole life. Our ego is there to protect us, to help us, to save us. I loved what Elizabeth Gilbert shared, and I think it was, might have been in a Super Soul Sunday, or it might have been in her book, Big Magic. But she talks about her fear when she's writing. And she puts her fear in the back seat. She puts her ego in the back seat. It might have been her ego or fear. And she doesn't allow it to drive her car. She might have said fear, but this is what I feel with ego too. But we don't want to, if we keep fighting to push it out, then all we're experiencing is struggle in our life, right? Because we feel like we have to have our dukes up. I see this with people all the time. Someone says, my chakra is blocked. What do I do? Or I have to be healed before I can do this work. You're always going to be healing and evolving. So what I'd love for you guys to do is recognize the ego. That's what we want to do. We want to become conscious of it. And then we want to override it with our own inner light thoughts. So if the ego comes in and says, you can't do that, you're going to get hurt, and you think it's protecting you, we want to take a look at it, observe it. Is there any truth to this? And then bring our own inner light thoughts to it. So great, great, great. I'm glad that helped, Michelle. Great. Okay. So alignment brings so many things and experiences. Peace brings being one of them. Magic and wonder are 2 of the things I experience. Exactly. I love that. Yay, there, my arm stood up my skin. So there's a yes, yes, yes. Yes, love this, sweetie. So you became aware of that. Yes, 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 a constant battle with myself. And we don't want to battle ourselves. We don't want to, for those of you just joining, I'll explain something. I'm going to go in a second. But we don't want to battle ourselves, right? Because then our life becomes a battle. We don't want to do that. We want to love and accept all sides of ourselves, even the parts of us that are shameful, or the parts of us that had a bad experience and we sat on the couch and just watched too much TV, or drank too much wine, or ate too much food, or whatever the experience was. Even though we want to maybe make better choices next time around, if we make ourselves wrong for it, we're just continuing to dig that hole deeper. So for me, when I would go into one of those shameful experiences and then I make myself wrong for it and beat myself up, man, I was in the rabbit hole for like weeks. So what was I doing? Continuing to make bad choices. One of the things that I stopped over 7 years ago, I stopped making bad choices. And what does that mean? I make very conscious choices. Doesn't mean that some of the choices aren't the best choices, but because I'm conscious of the choices, I'm able to deal with the ramifications, the results of them if it wasn't the best thing. So you want to make very, very conscious choices. Yeah, great. So for those of you just joining, there's a meditation in that's 20 minutes in that many people have said was very powerful. Thank you for the feedback, guys. And then you can also type in soul and you'll get my souls list. Just be aware that we may, I believe there's an email with that talks about the Soul Finder Academy, which is my new program. You cannot just join in, only members can for Membership for Your Soul. You have to book a call. If you're on the fence about it, not sure, I suggest booking a call. They're really, my team is so good. I can't tell personal stories, but the way that they're helping people, and somebody was making a decision, they actually muscle tested together. It was very beautiful. So just check that out if that speaks to you, and it's really good. And remember to ignite your light in your soul. You have the power to do it. Nobody else has the power to do it. You may be like, well, why am I coming to you? Well, I'm not telling you, I'm giving you tools and techniques and habit forming, life changing things that you can incorporate every single day. But you're the best. Like, people come for me for a reading. When they come for a reading, I say, I'm going to give you everything I get. Take what you like, leave the rest. You're the master of your life, not me. So I leave you with that. All right, guys, I look forward to seeing you again. Thank you so much for being part of my community. If this helped you, I'd love for you to share it with your friends. Thank you. I know some of you are in the closet, so you can't share me. I was called a hustler on one of my ads, and you should see. Sometimes I get really like yelled at on my ads, which is like, one woman gave me a bad review, and I was like, have you taken any of my courses? Because I haven't seen you. She's like, no, I just watched your video for 2 minutes. And she gave me a really, she knocked down my stars. And I was like, and I usually don't care, but it was like, that's really messed up. You don't even know me. So I don't know why I went there, but I did. Be the master of your life and enjoy. And the closet. So if you want to share, share. And if you don't, I understand. Thank you so much, guys. I will see you soon. Much love to all of you. And thank you for participating and for sharing from your heart and soul, because that only enriches everybody's experience, because I get to answer and I get to engage with you in a way that's so real for all of us, right? And then I get to, then you get to help somebody else, which is what we're here for, right? We're here to help other people so we could live a magical life. Thank you so much. I'll see you soon.